So I wanted to bring you guys a really quick tutorial. Okay, so first things first, I have a link in the description below if you want to get this starter project. Here we have a list of posts. There's no real functionality here. This is all just UI stuff. So if you're planning on using this, you'll have to hook up some buttons or some tap actions on these fields to actually get them to operate the way you want them to. Here we're calling our starter header, which is the files that are linked below, and that's going to give us that. What we want to focus on this tutorial is how to actually set up the lazy V-grid. I'm just going to go ahead and add geometry reader. This will allow us to figure out what a third of the screen is going to look like once we're actually trying to post our images. But before we do that, we want to go ahead and use our scroll view. At this point, what we're wanting to do is we're now wanting to go ahead and implement the lazy V-grid. So let's do that. I'm going to also add some spacing of a 3. This is just optional. All right, so what we need to do is we need to tell the V-grid the layout. We can use an array. There's many different ways to do this, but I think the easiest way just for learning is to set a flexible. Now there's options with flexible that you could put in there to customize this. We just want it to fill a third of the space down in that grid area. The next thing we're going to want to do is create a for each loop in order to loop through our posts so we can display these images. So we're just going to want to display each of the SF symbols. The other thing we want to see, so this isn't quite what we were expecting. One, we are using geometry in order to get the size. So let's go ahead and set the frame size here. All right, so now we have some pretty pink images here or backgrounds here for our symbols. Another thing, and it's not necessary at all, but I'm just going to go ahead and just make the foreground color white just so it looks a little better. All right, so we have something that's looking pretty close to what we want, but obviously it's not actually giving us what we want by having the 3 columns. What we can do is pretty simple. We just have to copy and paste this, add more items to this layout array here. So what's going to happen is by adding these, what we're going to see is that we're going to get our columns now. So we have our 4 images that are going to be wrapping around in 2 columns. Okay, what we see is we have another image here. So the idea is that you probably hook this up somewhere to get your photos, and as they update, you'll be able to view them here. So I hope that was really helpful. I wanted to make a really quick tutorial. Hopefully this helps you. Again, the links to all the code is down below. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time,